Hey everyone, Josh Baldwin here with Vegan Fit, and today I'm going to make one of my favorite dinner recipes. I'm going to make some mashed cauliflower. Now I'm going to do a really simple version of this, and I'll show you some different toppings you can put on there and kind of mix it up. But basically, it's one of the best things out there for you because it tastes like 90% as good as mashed potatoes, but obviously there's basically no carbs, and it's so good for you. So basically all I've done so far is I've just kind of shredded up 2 cauliflowers. So I like to make a lot at one time. That way I've got a bunch of it and I can just kind of reheat it. It's super simple, really easy to do. So I pulled apart 2 cauliflower. Again, I don't care too much about how uniform all this is. I'm just going to roast it up, throw it in the blender, and I've got my mashed cauliflower. So I'm going to season it up first. I'm going to do a little salt, a little black pepper, some oregano, a little bit of grapeseed oil. Now I'm using grapeseed oil instead of olive oil because I'm going to cook it on like 425 in the oven. So you need an oil that can stand a little bit better temperature, that doesn't start to burn or smoke at like 350, 375 like olive oil. So grapeseed oil is great for that. You can use like avocado oil, peanut oil, any kind of like high temp oils. I'm going to use a pretty good amount of garlic powder. A lot of times I'll roast up fresh garlic for this as well. That's even better. And some paprika, some red pepper. Keep it really simple. So I'm going to season it up, roll everything around, put it in the oven on 425 for about 30 minutes till it's really nice and crispy and browned up. Gets really seared, gives you that kind of really good crispy flavor that you're looking for. And then, like I said, I'll take it in the blender, mash it up, and we're done. Super easy. So once I've rolled everything around, gotten the oil on all the different cauliflower so none of them really burn, and they all get that nice crispy sear type flavor, I'm just going to basically take it and pop it in the oven. Again, I'm going to do 425 for about 30-35 minutes until it gets really crispy, and it's so much better that way. Definitely do this over like steaming it or boiling it. It's going to have much better flavor. Alright, so my cauliflower should be done. It's been in for about 30-35 minutes. I'm going to pull it out, see how it looks. Alright, so that is pretty much perfectly what I wanted, right? You basically have got nice browned and crisped up. It's going to have a lot more flavor than if you were to boil or steam it. It makes a much more flavorful mashed cauliflower. It doesn't really take a whole lot longer. So all I'm going to do now basically is I'm going to take a little bit of this, throw it in the Vitamix with some almond milk. Make sure you get like unflavored almond milk. You don't want vanilla or something like that. You can use cashew milk, whatever kind of milk you want, soy milk. So just throw a little bit of this in there, mash it up with the tamper, and it might take me 3 batches because the Vitamix can only hold so much. But use your blender. You can also use like an immersion blender if you've got one of those. I'm just going to take it, throw it in there a couple batches, mash it up, pour it into a pot, make sure it's nice and warm, and that's it, you're done. So I made both little batches here. I could probably have fit everything in one, but it'd been really tight, and you know the cauliflower starts getting stuck in the motor or stuck in the blades, everything like that. You don't want that. So just do like 2 or 3 if you have to, whatever you got to do. I'm going to see me kind of pouring this stuff out. Nice and creamy. It's very similar to mashed potatoes. It is not different at all. I think you could actually kind of trick some people with it, but I would say it's probably just about 90% as good. Got a good flavor to it, especially if you roast it up like this with the right seasonings. It's actually a lot more flavorful than like your standard mashed potatoes. Now getting this stuff out of the blender is kind of a pain in the ass. I use like a rubber spatula and do the best I can. I might end up with a little bit still in the blender, but that's okay. So you can see I've got a pretty good pot of it here, and all I'm doing is I'm just basically got it on low right now so I can keep it warm. Make sure it's a good temperature. Should be already pretty hot because it came out of the oven just a minute ago. And on the side over here, I basically made a little bit of sausage, some field roast sausage. I've got some onions and some peppers. Now a lot of times I'll use the Beyond Meat ground beef, make like a shepherd's pie style thing. But really kind of whatever you got. Onions, peppers, carrots. You could do like a mirepoix on top. That's really good. You can make like a mushroom gravy to put on top. There's so many different things you can do with the mashed cauliflower. And the reason I make these big batches like this, the 2 cauliflowers, that pretty much gives me like 3 dinners worth, right? And if you eat smaller meals, you might get 4 out of it. So I'm just going to basically take this. I'm just going to serve it up in this bowl here. Super simple. Like I said, for me, I'll probably get about that much. That should be pretty good right there. And then I'm just going to take this right here. Make sure you get a good shot here. Just some sausage, some onions, some peppers. And this is a field roast chorizo sausage. This stuff's really good. Basically, just lay that on top. Really easy dinner. I mean, once you've made this, like I said, you've got dinner here for, you know, 3 nights probably with the cauliflower. And each night you could just make something a little bit different. You could do some kind of, you know, like I said, the Beyond Meat crumble. You could do some different vegetables. A lot of times I like to chop up like asparagus, and I'll chop it up like peas or something. So I'll have like mashed potatoes and peas, which is one of my favorite dishes. But obviously I don't want the peas. Peas are just, you know, not great for you, especially at night, all those carbs. So a really simple dish. Definitely try this out. I'm going to try a little bite with a little bit of sausage. Now this, the only problem with this, the field roast chorizo is pretty spicy stuff, so. But the mashed cauliflower is perfect. There's that creamy texture, and you can make it thinner or thicker, whatever you like. Really simple stuff. Definitely try this one out, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. If you like it, if you have any questions, I'll be around to answer them. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys at the next video.
Shut down.